Okay, so this is the VR mod for Crysis, the original version back in 2007. This mod was sort of released a while ago now, but this is the latest version, which includes full 6 degrees of freedom motion controllers. It's got room scale, and as you can see, I'm just here on the menu at the moment, but we've also got these VR specific settings down here as well, so you can go through all of this. You've got plenty of VR settings if you want to really customize it, how it works, and you know, some of the comfort options and things like that. They're all in there. You've also got this VR manual as well, which goes into a bit more detail about how the weapons work, and all of that kind of stuff. I've scanned it, but I've not really gone in depth into that too much yet. But we'll see how we get on anyway, and we'll take it from there. But let's get into the game anyway. So we'll do a single player, new game on normal, and we'll start there. So I did own this game back in the day when I built my PC back in, would have been 2007, 2008. And it was like, I think it was an AMD Phenom 2 something processor. I can't even remember the name of the processor now. And then a Radeon GPU back then. And of course, this was the game that everybody said, can your PC run Crysis? So after building a new PC, I thought this is the game I've got to pick up. And I enjoyed it. I didn't finish it. I played through quite a bit of it, but I didn't finish it.
Hey, Nomad, you still with us?
One thing I'll say, because this is the 2007 version, but the character models really do stand up. I mean, they're pretty good for that time. I mean, you know, it looks like it's motion captured as well. Maybe not, but it looks pretty good to me. So we're not got any 6DOF movement at the moment. And these cutscenes are all in VR as well, but you do get the option in those VR settings if you wanted to just watch these on a 2D screen or on a screen in 3D even. I think it gives you those options as well. So it can be a bit jarring for some people, the way the motion is in these cutscenes, but it looks great and it works really good, in my opinion anyway. Okay, so here we are. We've got some 6DOF motion controllers now. Works really well. It's exactly, the positioning of the hand is perfect. Yep, everything is about right with this. One thing I'll say, so I went in very briefly just to make sure it was working okay, and when I did that, I was running at 90 FPS through Virtual Desktop on my Quest 3. And the performance was absolutely perfect. There was no problems whatsoever. I am running at 120 frames per second now to get some smooth 60 FPS footage, and it is running in reprojection now. It's still smooth, you know, if you're not bothered by reprojection, it's fine. But one thing I would probably try to do next time is run it at 90 and then maybe increase the resolution slightly. It looks sharp enough as is. I mean, I think it looks pretty good to me. And I'm only running on medium on Virtual Desktop, so I'll probably run it on high. The guns are all modelled really well. You know, it feels pretty much like a native VR game. The yaw of the gun feels slightly off to me. That should be pointing straight, in my opinion. I don't think there's an option for that in the menu. There is for pitch in the menu, but not for yaw. However, having said that, it's got two-handed weapons as well, so it doesn't really matter too much once you're aiming with the two hands anyway. But yeah, it looks really good. I've got to say, it does stand up. It still stands up. You can see why it was such a difficult game to run back in the day. One of the things, I mean, the water probably lets it down the most, but like all the vegetation and all the trees and stuff look great.
Careful, Nomad. Enemy contact up ahead.
The guns feel pretty good to use. Well, this one does. It's the only one I've used so far.
Enemy! Engage!
Little crab fellas wandering around. The skybox is not very high res, that's one thing I'll say, but, you know, I'm sort of nitpicking a little bit, I suppose. It's a lot of vegetation on this island. I forgot how detailed it was. It looks really good. It's a little bit of juddering. It's not stuttering when I'm running. It's like it moves fast and then moves a little bit slower occasionally. I'm not sure what's going on there. I didn't notice it when I was running at 90 FPS. It might be an artifact of running a little bit at a higher frame rate. Because even though it's a 2007 game, it is still pretty demanding. Okay, just in another cutscene now, so it takes control again. And it sort of snap turns you around.
Jesus.
As you're watching this, so some people might not like this, but like I say, you do get the options to change how you view these cutscenes anyway.
You hear that?
Not too sure how to get the cloak activated. I read in the manual that I think you're supposed to hold down the right stick and then select. There's supposed to be a wheel pop up. It's not popping up, so I'm not sure what's going on with that. Okay, so I think what I did is I accidentally checked this when I went into the game today. I didn't have that checked before, but now if we go into resume game, we've got the map, the HUD elements are there, and then if I hold down the stick, now I can see and select the item that I want. So if we have the cloaking, there we go, so we've got the cloaking gauge now. That's better, yes. So you don't want to hide that HUD element at all. Probably don't need the cloak now, actually. So we can see a little bit more of the detail of the jungle now in the daytime area. Yeah, I think I'm going to increase the resolution a little bit. I'm not sure if I can do that in-game, but I'll probably just do that in virtual desktop when I've reduced the frame rate down slightly.
We spotted KPA patrols down on the beach. Use your binocs to tag them before you run in blind.
You can zoom in with the right stick. Okay, so the game did crash then. I'm not sure why. When I had the binoculars activated, I pressed the B button on the right controller.
Nomad, we're blind here until you find that jammer.
Okay, the vehicles are a little bit hard to control. So it's left thumbstick to go forward and then steer. Oh, I need to get out of here. This is no good at all. Can pick up a stick. Not sure what I'm supposed to do with it. Maybe. Oh, that didn't work. One thing you will notice if you play on the resolution that I'm playing on, which is medium settings in virtual desktop, whatever that resolution comes out at on the Quest 3, is that you'll notice some shimmering in the distance, like the aliasing in the distance is shimmering slightly, and if you activate the anti-aliasing in the menu, apparently it doesn't work, or it crashes the game or something like that. It mentioned it on the GitHub page for the download of this mod, which incidentally I will put in the description to this video if you want to try the mod yourself. It's really easy to install and get set up, but you do need a copy of the original 2007 game in order to get it to work. It won't work with the remastered version. And I'm out of ammo, so what do we do now? What's the plan? Can I make a run for it, or are they going to kill me? They're probably going to kill me. Oh my god, I'm getting it at all angles. Alright, let's get out of here. Let's get out of Dodge. It's a little bit difficult to drive the vehicles. Not doing too well.
Enemy activity close to your position. Keep them low profile. Spotted your opponent reinforcements.
Is that low profile? In severe trouble here. Yep. Okay, so just to wrap up a few thoughts on this mod, I think it's really well done, and we've probably been a bit spoiled on these types of motion control 6 degrees of freedom mods lately with this and also the Halo VR mod, which was also fantastic. The VR integration in this Crysis mod is better than I even really mentioned in this previous gameplay, because I was just sort of fumbling my way through some of these controls. Even though I had glanced at the VR manual, I would recommend going through that and really getting acquainted with the controls. But the modder has done a fantastic job of getting a near native VR experience out of this game. In fact, with all the options that are available, it's probably better than a good percentage of the made for VR games out there as well. And Crysis itself, it holds up well for an 18-year-old game. And if I could just push that resolution up a little bit higher and still maintain maybe 80 or 90 frames per second, then that would probably be ideal for me. As mentioned, the link to the GitHub page where you can download the mod is in the description. But that's about it for this video. Please subscribe and I'll see you next time.